Hey guys, obviously with new banners comes another should you summon, and this week is Silas and Edith. This is going to be a little bit of a weird should you summon because the banners aren't actually listed in the event calendar. And the reason for this is because, I don't know why they do it exactly, but every time there's an update coming, they never show the banners for that week. It might be something to do with the update. I don't really know, but that is the trend that we have. But we still do know all of the banners that are coming. So let's go into whether or not you should summon for these. This one's a little bit perplexing since the heroes are very solid on it. But we also kind of know what's coming very soon. And that might heavily sway the decision that I'm going to, give to you guys. But there is still, a little bit of thought that has to go into it. Anyways, the banner that is this Friday is the Silas Edith banner. And then we are also having a 2x and a non-15x, so just a normal ancient summoning banner. It's been a very long time since we had one of those. And honestly, I have some very, very strong opinions to it. But let's start with the Silas Edith. First of all, Silas is a monster. He is one of the best units in the entire game. I mean, that's just all I have to say. He's incredibly, incredibly strong. I mean, he fulfills a role that not a lot of other marksmen fill, and I think he's probably the best marksman in the game. I don't think a lot of people disagree with that. I think everyone pretty much agrees. He ignores defense and magic resistance on his ultimate, doing crazy damage, but when he has Vierna on your account, he does double damage. So if you have Vierna and him, he becomes like way too strong for this game. He's good pretty much in every area of the game. And if you do not have Silas, you have to pull for Silas. I don't make the rules. That's just how it goes. I mean, Silas is so strong. He's one of the best units for Guild Boss 1, Guild Boss 2, Gear Raid 3, Air Arena. There are still some units that outclass him a little bit on specific teams with the existence of like Ingrid or Praetus or whatever. But he's still one of the best units for pretty much all of the content in the game. He's so good. He's meta in top level healer codex. That's how strong he is. He does so much damage to the boss. And it's just stupid. Like, he is incredibly, incredibly powerful, and you have to go for Silas. Edith, on the other hand, is kind of important for one piece of content in the entire game. If you have it completed, you never want to pull Edith ever, and that's Gear Dungeon 2. In Gear Dungeon 2, she's important for the final stage because she has the best pushback in the game. She is a tank. She knocks back enough where she deals with the hardest part of that stage where you have to have knockback, and she's just the best option. She is replaceable, of course, but she is quite good. So a base copy is not bad, but awakenings obviously suck ass. You don't want to awaken her at all because it's just not worth it. She's only good in one area. And the other thing to note when you're kind of making up your mind whether or not you're going to summon this week is we can very confidently say Beelzebub is coming next week or the week after. And that's because the artifact shard assembly, it's pretty damn obvious, right? We're getting this for free for everyone as long as you fulfill certain events. And it's for a hero that's not out yet, which is very strong. So if you have any Silas copies at all already, I would skip this banner 10 times out of 10 in exchange for either pulling for Bubba, which is what I like to call this guy because it's hilarious, or, save for something even beyond that point. Beelzebub is very solid, but I will say, I know some people are going to be like, well, I'm skipping Silas to go for Beelzebub because people say he's really good. Don't do that, honestly. Silas is more important. The way I think of it is Beelzebub's main draw is the fact that he has inspiration. He's supposed to be the Dolores killer. The better than Dolores if you have awakenings on him. You need his, like, A2 for that to be the case. Like, confidently where he's better. But, it's very specific. And even then, he's not that much better. He's not, like, game-changingly better. where you're really gonna see the difference from like double the inspiration. That's not the case. Dolores will still be very strong, and Constance will still be very strong. But the thing with Silas is he fulfills such a powerful role in the marksman role that I don't think there's anything near him. He's the best marksman out of this entire very strong class. He's the best. He's good pretty much everywhere. He goes through defense and magic resistance, which is very unique to him. He does so much damage and he's good everywhere. I know I've said that already, but it's true. He's so much more powerful than the rest of his role that I think he's just better. Because while there's not a lot of inspiration units, they're all kind of in the same realm of strength. Silas is just so much higher than like a Calypso or Sargak or, you know, even Hex outside of like certain content where obviously Hex is better. But, you know, like just overall, it's a different level. So I would say if you do not have Silas, just ignore Beelzebub. That's what I would do. Obviously, it's up to you. I'm not telling you guys how definitively to summon, but that is just my perspective. I would say this is a good banner. I'll just say it's a good banner. It's not an exceptional banner or anything. And it is a skip, in my opinion, if you have Silas. Anyways, moving on, we have the 2x event. 2x's are always kind of bad in my eyes. They're not like atrocious because more legendaries is always good. But I'm gonna say the same thing I always do, which is if you've been playing longer than like a month or two, I would not pull on these anymore because once you have your roster a little bit more rounded out, you want to start trying to prioritize really good heroes and not broaden your collection, you know? Because on average, you're just going to get a lot of trash by summoning on the 2x's, even if you get more trash. You know, you're going to get more trash more often, but it's still trash. You know what I mean? Even though 15x's are a little scuffed and they should be increased for sure, that is still the reality of the situation. And speaking of trash, do not pull on this ancient summoning banner. I know a lot of people give me pushback in the comments whenever I say these are shit and you should never pull on them, but I stand by it. When there's no 15x on an ancient banner, it's really bad. While the rates are the same on the chance to pull something, there's a lot of, you know, mediocre units from the Chaos Dominion and the Supreme Arbiters, which you can pull. You know, there's a lot of lords you could pull, like a Twin Fiend or a Hards, which you do not want to pull. Which is why we wait for 15x's, like Ingrid or Praetus or New Nightmare Lord, whenever that drops. You know, all of these things, you want to wait for a banner. Because if you're going to pull something, you want it to be a higher likelihood of being something. Can you still pull a Praetus or an Ingrid or a Valderon on a non-15x? Yes. But if you're really dealing with a valuable resource like Ancient Shards, where they're very hard to get, even if they've become more common recently, they're still expensive and they're hard to get. And this is just not worth it. You really have to be careful because even if you can get something good, the chances are lower. You know what I mean? Lower chances is never good. Anyways, what you want to treat this as a big spender if you are a big spender. This is more as a way to replenish on ancient deals for people who like to spend a lot of money on the game. Then you're able to really like buy the packs because ancient packs are finite. They're very hard to, you know, have trigger because it's only when there's an ancient banner do the packs show up. So this is generally what people use this as, you know, that's basically what this banner is for. Once again, Bubba, Nightmare Lord, I do predict to be this month. I don't really know, but that is what I predict. Silas. You must pull for Silas. That's non-negotiable. But if you have Silas, I would save for Beelzebub, which I will obviously have a video on closer to when he releases. And I would pull for him, or even just save your shards later if you're not that interested in him. It's kind of up to you, right? That's what I would do, and also skip the ancient banner. I wouldn't really recommend the 2x, but whatever floats your boat. Either way, that's this weekend. That's the Should You Summon. Let me know what you guys are planning on doing in the comments. And that's it from me. Make sure to like and subscribe, and Destined signing out.